All right, guys, it's your boy, man. I'm back again with Let's Just Talk Movies and TV Shows, man, with your boy Trey with Let's Just Talk Trey. And man, I want to talk about this movie, man, called The Impossible. This movie right here, man. My girl, she introduced me to this. And this was a movie right here that I must say, it took the cake. It really took the cake. I was not expecting this movie to be as good as it was. I'm surprised I never really heard of this movie. I'm surprised I never really actually took the time to, I guess, watch this movie. But also, again, I never heard of it. But that's what I realized about certain movies, man. You know that they good when they are old. This was back in 2012. I just watched this like a month ago. When they're old, years old, and you just now seeing them and they real good. They hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, like this is a legendary movie. And it's starring, who we know today, Tom Holland. He was a little boy back then. He was probably like 10, 11. But I ain't gonna lie. His acting back then was probably better than it is now. He's a good actor now. But back then, or when he made this movie, yo, this man right here, he really took the cake of this movie. He wasn't the only star in this movie. It was several other people that also starred in it, but obviously we know him as like the prominent figure of today's age in terms of Spider-Man and all the other movies he didn't play a part in. But him as a little kid in this movie, seeing the tragedies, man, that people have to go through when there's a hurricane or tsunami, right? I think in this case there was a tsunami that washed up on the land, and you know, seeing the devastation, man. And again, this movie actually came to mind in terms of what I would talk about today because I I was talking to a few people in the DMs who have went through Hurricane Katrina. And me and my mom was talking about it, and we ended up watching an interview on YouTube in regards to a Hurricane Katrina survivor. Talking about the Superdome, talking about how that was, man, being in there was like being in prison, is what the guy said, man. I spoke with one woman in the DMs, and she told me how, she's swimming in the water with two of her children in her hand. Spoke to another friend of mine, and she was telling me about how, she escaped it, but how no one really knew how bad it really was or how she really did it. Because I think Hurricane Katrina curved, it shifted. I think it hit Florida, and then I think it was going to miss Louisiana, and then that mess looked like it just shifted. And so to see the devastation, man, that mentally, I think more than anything, obviously physically, it was horrible. Obviously physically, it was, bad. It was something that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. However, um, seeing how devastating it can be to a person's mental, how devastating it can be to a person's psyche, you know what I'm saying? How devastating it can be to people who yeah, people who literally just are, living their normal lives. You sitting over here just watching TV or watching this or that. And it seems like, and it's kind of like hurricanes, tornadoes, all these type of natural storms. I guess to some degree, you really don't know how bad something will be. Sometimes we can predict it, right? Sometimes the weatherman can predict certain things, but we oftentimes can look at the weatherman as God, not realizing that, we didn't put ourselves on this planet. Not a single person did that. Not a single person can take credit for that, even though some would definitely try. I believe the Lord put us on here, and he does as he pleases. And so when we see these storms and all these different things happening, it's just a form of that, of his flexing in the sense of, yeah, I am who I am. I do what I do, and so it really, this movie really takes you into that experience of survivors, both before the actual wave hits the land and after. The after effect of that wave, the after effect of the devastation between the loss of family members, realizing that literally no one has IDs on them. So you literally have to either identify bodies by pictures, you have to identify bodies by, I guess, trying to find other family members. Some people dying, and some people probably never actually get to find their family members. So I think of Hurricane Katrina, people talking about how there was snakes, alligators in the water, and all that stuff, man. And you think about all that, and it's just like, man, you really don't understand what these people were going through or what people go through. For some people, for certain people, we have other countries that have been hit with some devastating earthquakes the past year. And so, man, if you ever wonder what it's like to be in a tsunami or a hurricane or something of the likes, The Impossible. This movie was made in 2012. Um, this movie, I would definitely say, is a must watch. You know what I'm saying? The director is J.A. Oyana. Um, Came out again in 2020, 2013, it looks like. But hands down, an amazing movie, man. A very underrated movie. So I wanted to talk about this movie, man, because it was so fresh on my mind after talking about Hurricane Katrina with a bunch of people. So go see it, man. Go check it out. I think you'll love it, man. It's your boy Trey with Let's Just Talk Movies and TV Shows with Let's Just Talk Trey. And until next time, peace.